if you're carrying something so heavy with you everywhere that you go, do you really think there's going to be room for Best Self Podcast where we become the best version of ourselves? Before we get into today's episode, I don't normally like to get off track and ramble a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'll probably have like something where you can skip ahead if you want on YouTube, because I know y'all are impatient sometimes and people hate long intros, but I just want to share about my life a little bit, okay? Like I want to connect with you guys a little bit and tell you something that happened to me today that has literally nothing to do with today's episode, but let me just tell you, I like to nap during the day sometimes. And when I nap here on this couch. It is such a comfortable couch to nap on. And that's what I did this morning. I was just super tired. Okay, let me take a little nap before I start my day. So this is so weird, but basically I was napping and I kind of woke up a little bit and then I fell back asleep right away. But when I woke up, I was conscious of like, wait, I've been here for a while. Like I need to start my day. I have a bunch of stuff to do. Let me get up. And so I had felt that consciousness, but then I went back to sleep. And in my sleep, I was trying to wake up. And this is so freaking strange. So basically, I thought that I was awake. It was like I was dreaming that I was awake. And when I was dreaming that I was awake, I was dreaming that I was here on the couch and I had the view that I have in real life. But the thing is that it was all a dream. So I was like thinking, I'm awake now, I'm up, but I can't move my body. I'm trying to move my body and it's not moving. And then just random stuff started happening. For example, I have pillows right next to me. I don't think you can see them, but they're the pillows that are on my couch, like this one behind me too. Girl, my pillow turned into a dog and I was like wrestling with it. Like what? I just started hearing barking coming out of nowhere from my pillow and I thought I was tripping out. And so I was kicking the pillow to try to wake up. I don't know what, this all probably sounds, I don't know if I'm even making sense, but I started kicking the pillow with my legs and then that's when it turned into a dog. I just started having weird, strange hallucinations like that. And oh, you know how I finally woke up inside of one of my dreams? Because this kept happening. I kept thinking, oh, I'm awake now. And then I still wasn't. Like I still couldn't move. I still was like, what's going on? Like I want to get up and I can't. And random stuff is happening. Like, bro, I just want to move my body. And it was so freaking weird because when I finally woke up, it was literally like a ripple effect. Like it was like I saw the same exact thing, but this time it's like I jumped back into the world. Like it was so strange. I genuinely wish that I could like screen record my mind and my dreams sometimes. That would be insane. But I just wanted to share that. Oh, and when I finally did wake up, it was because I was like, how can I make myself wake up? Let me think. So I held my nose and held my breath as much as I could. And when I woke up, I went from seeing the same exact location and everything, but it was like I can breathe and I jumped into consciousness. So weird. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little story time. But now let's get into this week's episode. So this week we're talking all about the art of letting go, the arts of detachment, and the power that comes with that. The power that comes with letting go of situations that don't serve you, of people that don't serve you, of whatever it may be that you need to let go of. We're going to go into the importance of letting go. We're going to talk about how to actually tangibly do it and mindset shifts that you need when it comes to letting go. A person who knows when enough is a powerful person. They are a person that knows how to pivot, that knows when a chapter has closed. And I think as women, we have to know, we have to go deep into our senses and be able to understand when a chapter is closed, be able to understand when there is no more left to give in whatever situation it may be, whether that's something in your career, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a relationship, and whether it's simply a way of being that you no longer resonate with. So let's get into it. First of all, what does letting go actually entail? What does letting go actually mean? I think that because change can be scary, when people think about letting go, they often associate it with failing at something, at whatever it may be, like a failed friendship, a failed relationship, a failed job, A, B, and C, whatever it may be. That type of mentality can be very detrimental because it causes people to stay in situations for longer than they should. It causes you to extend the expiration date on things that have already been expired. That can really hold people back from making changes in their life when they know that they should. And also not even just the fear, but The fact that you've invested time and energy into something can cause you to say, well, I've already invested this much time. I've already invested this much energy. So for me to let go now, it's pointless. I invested so much into this. And that mentality can be very toxic. The way that we should see it instead is, rather than I made this huge investment, like I have to stick with it now, see it as, well, I made this investment, I spent time here, I spent energy here, but I learned from it, I accumulated knowledge, I accumulated experience, and if nothing else, I at least learned what I don't want. We are going to go through so many changes, we're gonna go through so many different journeys in this life. So for you to simply be stubborn and want to hold on to something that is clearly hurting you just because of the fact that you've already spent time and energy on it, that's doing nothing for you except wasting your time. Imagine yourself carrying a very heavy bag. At what point is that bag heavy enough for you to say, you know what? I need to unchain myself from this. I need the room to grow, because how far can you go while you're carrying this heavy baggage? If you're carrying something so heavy with you everywhere that you go, do you really think there's going to be room for better for you? You're already holding up so much. You're carrying so much weight. There's only so much that a person can take on. You're blocking better career opportunities, relationships, friendships, all of that. You're blocking your growth. Letting go truly is an act of self-love, and it is saying, I deserve better and I'm going to create space in my life for better. Let's talk about why letting go can be so hard and the mindset shift that can help you through it. Obviously, your intuition is something that will guide you throughout life, and you'll get those little nudges inside of you that are like, hey, this isn't right. Or you'll feel it. You literally will feel it in your gut. Like, this isn't right. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be in this position right now. That's one thing that I think every woman needs to develop, that sense of intuition. We all have it. Everyone has intuition, but as women, it can be so strong. And when it's time to let go of something, there's clear signs of it. It's a feeling of distress. It's a feeling of something weighing you down. Like I mentioned before, it's like something heavy. You can feel it when there's friction in your life and when something is just weighing you down, stressing you out, making you anxious. All of that is not normal. Like, we shouldn't feel that way about the people and things in our life. We really shouldn't. And if we do, we have to take the steps every day and analyze where we are and change what we can change. We're not a tree, you guys. We can move. We can move and we can change. And that is the beauty. That is the beauty of us and our life, that we do have that power to change. So understand that when things are weighing you down and you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world because of certain situations and people and things in your life, you don't need to deal with that. You don't need to be there. And it's also something that's not normal. When you grow up around a lot of toxicity, you may think that that is normal, but it's not. It's not a requirement to live that way. You're allowed to live a life with people and situations and surroundings that inspire you, that make you feel good, peaceful, happy. You're allowed to do that. And this one can be difficult. If you find yourself rationalizing something constantly, trying to make excuses as to why this is good for you, as to why this should stay in your life, that's how you know that maybe it's not that good for you after all. If you need to make excuses for something, if you can't just let it be, if it doesn't just sit afloat in your life because it's actually good for you, if it's something that you constantly have to be like, no, well, this, no, but this, like clearly things aren't working out, because you shouldn't have to sit there and justify why something is worth holding on to. And here's something you might not have heard of before. The reason that we hold on to things much longer sometimes than intended to and than we should comes down many times to something called loss aversion, which is a psychological bias that suggests that we as human beings feel the pain of losing something much more intensely than the joy of gaining something new. So think about it like this. Let's say you had $100 in your pocket, it fell out, you lost it. You would feel that pain more intensely than you would feel the happiness that would come if you were to just find $100 on the floor tomorrow. And that is because that is how our brains are wired. Our brains are wired to fear loss. So that's why sometimes people stay in relationships, they stay in situations, whatever it may be, that no longer serves them, simply because they are afraid of the loss that comes with it. And it's not necessarily that you think that something is good for you. Sometimes you know that it's not really good for you, or we fear the discomfort of loss more than we value the potential of gaining something better. And that's how you get stuck. But you can go against that when you understand that letting go is not about losing, it's about creating space for new opportunities. When you know that it's time to let go of something, I think this is the hardest part. How do you actually let go? What are the steps that come with that? I truly do believe that we should be connected to everything but attached to nothing. I try to connect as most as I can with the people in my life, with whatever is happening in my life. I like to be present. I like to enjoy. I like to feel. But I also understand that life is ever changing. Things are constantly going to change. So I try not to attach myself too much to whatever it may be that is happening. I enjoy my relationships for what they are, my friendships for what they are, but I also understand that as human beings, we're constantly changing, which means that I don't attach myself to the certain circumstances that I'm living at the moment. I enjoy them for what they are, but I understand that things will always change, and that's something that will never change. So I say that, and I also can say that I am not a robot. I feel things. When things do change, sometimes it can still hurt. Even when you master the detachment side of things, at the end of the day, we are human beings and we're gonna feel. So when it comes to letting go, the first thing is allow yourself to grieve whatever you're letting go of. Because yeah, even though we are letting go for the better, that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. That doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It's that sacrifice that comes with choosing something better for yourself. It's like they say, if you want a new life, you have to let go of the old one. It's that kind of thing. And letting go can hurt and it's painful. So allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel, and understand that it's normal. Not every decision that you make that is going to propel you forward is going to be an easy decision. It's not always going to be something that is easy to do physically, mentally, emotionally. So it's essential to process those emotions. And I always say this, and I learned this in therapy, the only way through is through. The only way to get past the pain that you're feeling is to feel it. There is no escape from it. There's nothing else that you can do. I've been in situations in my life where I was like, I don't want to feel this. Like it hurts. Sometimes it physically hurts. Sometimes even your heart will physically hurt in those moments. The only thing you can do is go through it. That's the only thing. It's time, and it's using that time to feel whatever you're feeling and keep pushing. And eventually you'll realize that you made it through. Also, a really important thing when it comes to letting go is forgiveness. Forgiveness of others and forgiveness of yourself. Sometimes it really is just acknowledging where somebody else went wrong, where you went wrong, where a situation went wrong, and allowing yourself to forgive. And even if it comes down to you having to forgive the other person for your own sake, even if you can't do it for them, do it for yourself. Because all of that anger or the guilt that you may feel towards them, towards yourself, that's something really heavy to carry with you. So forgive yourself, forgive them, and do it for you. And once you let go of whatever it is, try to focus on the present moment. Try to just be here, because during those times when you are transitioning into something new, it's really easy to just be stuck in the past, to ruminate on what went wrong, what could have been, or even just what could have happened if you were to not have let go, if you were to stay in that job, if you were to stay in that relationship, and make fake scenarios in your head. But at the end of the day, those scenarios are meaningless because you are here now. You are here, and it's important to focus on where you currently are. It's important to focus on the now and how you can bring peace to yourself in the present moment. And this is kind of like a fun activity. I mean, it's fun in a way, but something else, when you're letting go, I think it's really cool to do something to release whatever you're letting go of. So literally, it can be as simple as writing it on a paper, writing all your feelings, what you want to release, and then burning that paper, or just ripping it up, throwing it away. I think that when you set that intention, it kind of just frees you from all of the emotional turmoil inside. You put it all on a paper, and it's like you do feel lighter afterwards. It's kind of like those people that go and like write on a plate and then go and throw it and break it, which I don't recommend that though, because, you know, littering, and it's not good for the environment. It's not, right? So instead, just do it on a piece of paper. Burn it. Do this as a fun activity with your friends. Do it by yourself. Whatever it is, try it out. Maybe it's gonna help. All right, now you let go of something. You're no longer carrying that baggage. So it's time to fill that gap, that newfound space that you have in your life. Fill it with something positive and uplifting. It can be a hobby you've been wanting to try. Whatever it looks like for you. In certain times where I've been through things where I had to let go of situations, I filled my time instead with things that served me better. For example, fun fact, was in soccer growing up in high school and I loved it and it brought me so much joy. But then eventually it got to the point where I was so extremely busy and I was getting really burnt out. And soccer was starting to be something that I no longer really enjoyed. I also, not gonna lie, I wasn't the best at it either. So that was another factor. But overall, it was just something that I knew that I kind of had to make a choice. It was like, this is putting more of a burden on me than bringing me joy. So I have to let go of this. And it was actually really hard for me. Like, I know that it may sound like, oh, like you left soccer, haha, whatever. But actually, in that moment, it was hard. And I actually cried a lot about it. And I felt like I lost something. But what I did was fill that by pouring more into my theater, which at that time I was in theater at school. So we would do plays, we would do musicals, stuff like that. So I poured more focus into that and I really got more deep into it. And it made me really happy. Sometimes it's those little things. Or for example, after a breakup, I really focused on my fitness goals and I really focused on just self-love, self-care, and doing things for myself. And so it's just about filling that, I guess you can say, void or that empty space with something that's going to make you feel good, whatever that may be. Or there's been times where I've had to let go of toxic friendships, and that was hard on me too. But I filled that space by literally just focusing on the friends that I did have that were positive and that were encouraging and made me feel good. So sometimes it's literally just you shifting your focus into the good things that are already around you and just acknowledging them. So we're gonna wrap up the episode here, guys. I just want you to remember letting go is an act of courage. Really crucial to know when to let go, to know when things have reached their expiration date, and always just overall put yourself first. Put your happiness first. Don't allow situations and people to drain you. Life can truly be so beautiful. And when we get stuck in these certain toxic cycles with toxic people, toxic situations, that can really be draining. That can blind us and it can be really dangerous to ourselves, to our life. There is much more to life. I promise you that. So I encourage you all to take time and reflect on your life, on things that you may be holding on to that are no longer serving you, things that aren't encouraging your growth, and things that you just need to release and let go of. Thank you guys so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'm actually going on a solo trip this weekend. I might make next week's episode about that. I'm not sure yet. Maybe a little story recap. That would be a little different for the podcast. I feel like I haven't really done an episode like that, but maybe it would be cool. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to be going to Sedona, which is one of the places with the highest vibrations on earth, which is actually insane. I've always wanted to go there and I'm actually going by myself and I'm so excited to just connect with myself, connect with nature, be a beautiful place, relax. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you for listening and I will see you in next week's episode, Monday at 10 a.m. PST.